Da, da, da. Da, 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 da.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the 128 Kiwi
Yes.
podcast. We're back once again due to Andy's poor singing.
Yay! I like that because I wasn't ready for the lack of popular demand.
It was like a real creepy introduction. I felt like you had crawled into my bedroom in the morning. Like,
Oh, no.
welcome back to the podcast.
You just started singing whilst you were sat there.
Yeah,
So.
do you remember Salad Fingers?
Yes.
It's what it
That's
reminded me.
Yeah. Yeah, once you've seen Salad Fingers, you can't unforget it.
No, yeah, you can't unsee it. It's
When was that?
disgusting.
That was like early 2000s.
Yeah,
Right?
horrible, creepy. That's what you reminded me of.
Good.
Then.
I'm glad.
It was
That's what I
disgusting.
aim to be.
So anyway, yeah, this is your weekly dose of all things gaming with
Woo!
two delusional fake gamers.
And creepy.
And apparently very creepy. What I do like is that you're wearing kind of a pinky jumper.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to give it like a posh colour name and I couldn't even think what it was.
Pink.
It's mauve, right?
I don't know. I'm
You
a
know
bloke.
when people use like the posh words for colours and
Yes.
it kind of throws you off.
I don't know them.
You know, teal. And you're
Oh,
like, which
G&B.
one's teal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like teal.
Indigo.
Teal's just like a light blue, isn't it?
No, what I was going to say is that you've also got the same colour behind you. So you've kind of
Oh,
like
merged in.
You're like blending in.
So we put the light behind me because I'm always wearing black.
yeah.
And now if we're on like pink, I've basically become the background.
What colour should you use to... It's like, well, it's never going to wear this colour. You're like one of those weathermen that's wearing
yes,
green.
Yes.
My legs have gone.
Yeah, I like that. It's good.
Today's super awesome video sponsor is PlayVital. Do you have Dorito fingers? Are you worried about damaging your favorite controller, Nintendo Switch, or handheld? Maybe you want to add some flair to your console, or maybe you want extra precision from your joysticks. Whether you're full on kawaii or not, PlayVital's got you covered for all of the above and more. From aim assist rings, thumbstick grips, protective cases, silicone grips, and skins, PlayVital's surely got something that will not only make you stand out from the crowd, but protect your devices at the same time. For more information, check out these awesome products in the link in the description.
Yeah, this is your weekly dose of all things gaming. Where we kind of just going to get some bees out of our bonnets about gaming this week.
Ooh.
I want to start off, Andy.
Yeah.
How's your week in gaming been?
I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for what seems like forever now.
You're like Pinky in the Brain, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth still.
I know I said it last time, but I'm like a proud dad.
I'm really enjoying it.
It's so good,
Yeah,
man.
I'm really enjoying it. And I've been enjoying it more now because I've just forced DLSS 4 into the game.
Oh.
So, you know, because it came out like 2 days before the 50 series came out. And Nvidia's all like, yeah, DLSS 4 and all this stuff.
There's a
And-
big list of games that were supported, and
yeah.
that was like top of the
Yes,
list.
if you go into them, it's like, yeah, this is supported with DLSS, but it doesn't say what. And then like 2 days later, there was like a tweet going like, these games support DLSS. But they were like really like careful with the wording of just saying DLSS because it only has DLSS 3. And it's like, why are you pushing this when you've not patched in, or like the devs Square haven't put in DLSS 4? Like, yeah, cool. Like, it's got old DLSS, but you've just announced a new one. Like, it really annoyed me.
It's annoying,
So
yeah.
I kept waiting and waiting, thinking like, yeah, they'll add it. And the NVIDIA app lets you like force DLSS 4 on stuff. But Final Fantasy 7 wasn't one that was supported with the app. And you add it into the app and it goes, nah, not this game. Then they added it. But then you still can't force it in because they've not given you the option. It's like, this is absolutely rubbish. So I was like, screw it. I knew that you could inject it yourself. So I just Googled it. So easy.
Really?
Like DLSS Swapper is a program. So you download that, get a couple of viruses.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Download some malware.
Yeah, that's it. And it's so easy. It just brings up like essentially like a Steam window.
And now your web browser opens every time you just log in. It's great.
yeah. But it brings up like a Steam window with all your games installed.
Yeah.
You click on it, tells you what DLSS version it has installed base of the game, and you go, now I want the new one. You don't have to Google the new one.
How it works.
You just click on the drop down, go to the newest one, download it from their server, and it's in the game. Then you load the game and it's just done. You don't do anything differently. It's just got DLSS 4 now. So I was like, sweet. So yeah, I've been enjoying that.
Have you primarily been playing on the screen or handheld with the Ally?
Oh, I've only played it on the screen.
been using eGPU.
Yeah.
What's
I
it
mean,
been like performance-wise?
really good. Yeah, really good.
I'm still jealous. I'm sat here angry, bitter and twisted.
Yeah, really good. I mean, even on the old DLSS, I'm running it 4K, 66% DRS, so resolution scaling, which is actually the DLS modes. It's so confusing in that game. Why didn't they like list it like everything else?
I've got like a spicy load of hate lined up. Like I'm guaranteed to get hate in this episode. My first one is about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Okay, yeah.
And a hot topic that I'm going to throw out there is, do you think it's going to run better on Switch 2 than it did on PS5?
Probably. Because
at launch.
It'll have like better upscaling.
That's where my head's at. Like, whatever Nintendo are going to put in for their the NVIDIA-powered DLSS style.
It's just DLSS.
It's DLSS, let's be frank about it. But whatever it is they use, it's going to be way better optimized than what was available at launch on PS5. And even with PS5 Pro and Pissa, that's been so poorly integrated. It's going to be surely going to be better than that. And with that, what's going to be an 8-inch screen on the Switch 2, I just think the experience you're going to get, like inch for inch on your screens, is going to be better on Nintendo than it is on PS5.
Yes.
And that annoys me, but also I find the comedy in it as well.
Yes. Yeah. I genuinely think it will be running like they'll either just go for a target 30 FPS.
Yeah, for certain.
But it will still probably look nicer than, what the PS5 performance mode looked like. I reckon. It's got to have DLSS in it. So to make it run.
So will the PlayStation be the worst way to play Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth?
Maybe. The one it was intended for. Yeah, it very well might be.
The only bit that I get annoyed with that, the bit that gets me angry is that it's sadly is a punishment for Final Fantasy fans.
Yeah.
Because the diehard fans, people like the
Day
weirdos
one,
like me, were like, day one, I need to play this.
Absolutely.
We've been waiting for this for years.
People would have bought a PlayStation for that.
For certain. I almost bought PS5 Pro for it.
Yeah, well, you would have had a better time.
I would have, yeah. But I obviously would have had to wait for it and stuff. I was like, maybe I'll get a Pro and play it again. But it almost in kind of protest, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Sod you. The PlayStation baffles me, man. It absolutely baffles me. They are the Apple of gaming now. They can do anything, even with mistakes, and then they will still. What was the announcement the other day? 70 million PS5 units,
yes,
and that includes the Slim and the Pro, all kind of combined. 70 million.
70 million. Yeah, it's nuts.
It's nuts when you consider there's barely any games for it.
Yeah,
and they're already leaking whispers of the PS6.
I know,
which is only a couple of years away.
I feel like I know that it's doing so well because it's PlayStation.
Yes.
But if you let's pretend like we didn't know the sales records here. So nobody knows. Yeah. So no one knows where the console war is, and who's selling more or not. Yeah. Let's just say there's Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. Nobody knows the sales. They could all be equal. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Or maybe not. No, nobody's ever found out. I feel like PlayStation is so out of time now. Like they're out of sync.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're like the Sega of the consoles now. Because they're so like locked in. Walled garden, so expensive. Like all the accessories are like jam-packed. They overcharge on their digital storefront like no end. You can't buy the games anywhere else other than like physically.
Yeah.
If you've got a physical version with the added price of a disc drive, You
spent an extra £100 on your disc drive.
And you're going to have to pay full whack for every game, all the Xbox games, all the PlayStation games.
Yeah.
There's no like decent online services like Game Pass, do you know what I mean? Or anything like that. I personally feel like they're at the bottom of the list in terms of how they're
for the future
conducting business. Yeah. I feel like they're falling behind the times. I really do.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I think if you're a PlayStation fan, and you're just in PlayStation?
Oh, yeah, then you probably don't even know what else is going on.
and actually are seeing like Xbox games starting to pop up in PlayStation stores and go, do you know what? This is good for me. Yeah. And it is.
It's really good.
Like it's net win. But when you take a step away and look at like the whole landscape, you go, I think Sony are a step behind everyone.
The thing that got me like massively was in your news video of the state of play coverage. And you did it. I really enjoyed it. Of a whole bit of you like ranting about like I just can't get behind a lot of these games
Yeah.
when I know I'm going to have to pay full price.
And that's my new thinking. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Whereas on Xbox, and you brought that up, like even if the game doesn't look good,
Yeah.
I can download it for no extra cost and try it and maybe be surprised.
And my different mindset now is that I'll watch an Xbox Developer Direct and I'll look at games optimistically now.
Yeah,
like really
open-minded.
open-minded
Yeah.
about it. I'm like,
Because it's not going to cost you anything.
South of Midnight's a really good example. It got announced at the recent Developer Direct. I looked at it and my first reaction was, oh, it doesn't look very good.
Mine too.
Yeah, and I'm not really connecting with the story.
No.
I later found out that it's like a claymation stop motion,
Yes.
but that wasn't said overtly,
No.
so it just looked like really poor performance.
It made me want to like be sick. It was
like,
that bad.
Why is the
I was
frame rate
like,
really
yeah,
low?
yeah. Like, what's up with the frame pacing here? Like, and
Yeah.
people genuinely were like, "Is this broken?" Like, and they were like, "No, it's kind of intended, but you can't turn it off." I was like, "Why didn't you say that in the video?"
right at the start.
Yeah.
Anyway, but upon reflection at the end of it, I was like, do you know what? I will try it though.
Absolutely.
Because there's zero risk. I've got my Game
Exactly.
Pass subscription. That's
Yep.
my payment.
Yep.
I can try these games. So whenever a new game's announced and it's on Game Pass, I'm just open-minded and genuinely just a little bit excited. It's like, oh, there's 5 new games that are coming to Game Pass day one on the release.
Yeah.
But when I watch the PlayStation State of Play, I'm on the opposite
Yeah.
end of that. I'm way less open-minded. I'm looking at them on their value, which is a really weird proposition to look at a game at. Like,
Well,
is it worth it?
Yeah, 70 quid a game.
Yeah.
You're gonna be, aren't you? Like, look at State of Play. If there's 3 games that you like, how much money is that? You know, you're like, what, couple of £100
Yeah.
in for
Yeah,
3
£210.
games, right? And you look at Xbox, there could be 50 games on there.
Yeah.
You're in 15 quid for a month.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you can play any of them. Like,
Yeah.
and even if it's crap, at least you tried it, and now you know. Whereas if it's crap on PlayStation, you've just spent 70 quid.
There's a few bits that I want to touch on before we get into the main topic that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
follow on from this and actually sit really closely in the Game Pass thing. The first one is Call of Duty. Can we just have a minute to mourn the loss of Call of Duty for good? If you're a Game Pass subscriber, you don't mind
Yeah.
because the game's free for you.
Yeah.
That's how you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like now Call of Duty needs to be that across the board. I think it needs to be Fortnite. It needs to be like free to play
Wow.
because they're ruining it.
What were the microtransactions, do you mean? Yeah.
It's been a thing for ages. I
Yeah.
know this. But the real nail in the coffin for me now is the new season update, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What are we doing?
Oh, that's amazing. Can you play as like Raphael and stuff?
I've not opened it. I've just seen the announcement. I imagine very strongly, like the Squid Games one that did my head in.
Oh, yeah, but that sucked because it was just one person
Yeah.
and everyone was the same person. At least tell me that there's different turtles.
Well, the current season is the special things Terminator, and you could be like the T-1000 and stuff.
I thought you said it was Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
and now they've just updated it again.
Oh, so there was Terminator before?
Yeah,
Oh, sweet. Could you
But-
be Arnie?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that.
I understand the connection there.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I'm
Yeah.
like,
I want to be
okay,
Terminator.
Call of Duty is an adult action game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gore in it. There's swearing in it. Get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Terminator. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
are just, firstly, they're just everywhere at the moment. Anything, anything, you put the turtles on it. I don't,
true.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's not connected in any. The thin line there is so thin
Yeah, I get
that
you.
I can just see that it is just a cash grab,
Yeah.
and we are just turning this game into Fortnite.
Yes.
Very
Yeah,
quickly.
Yeah, of course. They are looking at Fortnite and doing all of this because of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, you know, they had to change the name. It's not even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore, is it? It's Hero Turtles, isn't it? Didn't they change the name because it was too aggressive? Like people
that was like in
complained?
the 80s.
Yeah.
They did that.
Right.
Showing your age now.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I think it's back to Ninja Turtles.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
Oh,
when
I'm
it was the
surprised by that.
cartoon, when we were kids,
Yes.
they changed it to Hero Turtles.
Yeah,
They did.
because people were complaining.
Yeah.
It was too violent,
Too violent.
even though it's kind of violent.
Yeah, and that's the other part as well. It's like, who's this game for now? Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Are we aiming it at kids?
Yes.
If so, I'm fine with it. I find that Fortnite exists. I'll even jump in and play like once a year or so.
Yeah.
It's cartoony.
Did you just say you play Fortnite?
I have played Fortnite. Yeah, it's on my Xbox. Yeah,
That
not
wasn't-
regularly though.
That wasn't on the paperwork I signed. I knew Pete likes it, but come on.
Well, that's why I play it, because Pete plays it. So.
Okay, fine.
But like games have a place, and they make sense in
Yeah,
their place.
absolutely,
Fortnite
yeah.
isn't trying to be anything else.
No.
It is what it is. Call of Duty now, it's like it's trying to be everything.
Yeah.
And,
Like you said, the Terminator thing is an easy connection
Easy connection makes sense.
because like it's an over 18 movie.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure it's an 18 plus.
Yeah, it
You know,
is,
you've
yeah.
got Arnie being naked, like,
Yeah.
you know, killing people, or the opposite way around, like, depending
Yeah.
on which movie. But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you associate with children, don't
Yeah,
you?
you do.
But at the same time, do you? Do kids nowadays?
Oh, I don't know.
Like,
Actually, no.
because they were
Yeah.
our thing
Yeah,
when we were
yeah.
young. So
And-
maybe they're trying to aim at.
I think my point
us.
is like the skins annoy me in general.
Yeah.
right? And the microtransactions really annoy me.
Yeah.
The Terminator one, it annoyed me, but I'm like, I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
I can forgive it. Now seeing the Turtles, I'm like, no, I cannot do this.
No.
Cannot do this.
No. I think it would make more sense if they actually made maps based around these themes.
Yeah.
Like if you were in the
Game
Terminator, like,
Yeah.
but the whole map,
Yeah.
like if you're in Terminator, like City or whatever it is, or if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one was in a sewer.
In the sewer.
Like
yeah.
if that would make sense, but just literally slapping on an AI skin and
Yeah.
charging like however much.
And then
for it.
like the death animations and stuff that come with it when you get shot, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I into a glitter ball.
I don't care for any of that. And you're buying a skin and all you see is the hands.
It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah. And then everyone else has the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And you stick out like a sore thumb.
I know.
Who's
I know.
buying these?
I know.
Like there's dudes like with their heads on fire and stuff. It's like you can see him crouching behind the shed, mate. Like
you're a flame knight.
yeah,
or something
yeah.
like
Like it's like what? Like there's like a unicorn or
there
something.
is a unicorn. Yeah.
It's like you can see him like from across the map.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was the same with the Squid Game guys. They're all green.
Green.
It's like you can see him sat in the corner of the room. If you're a normal operator,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see him because he's just in a black leather jacket or something. And if you're sat still, you can run right past him and
Yeah.
get shot. But when you've got some green dude or someone with a flaming turkey on your head, like it's
Flaming turkey.
it's pretty obvious.
So my
Yeah,
point
it
now
annoys
is
me.
that, and
Yeah,
it connects to
I
the
agree with
Game
you.
Pass thing. It's not just annoying, and you kind of feel like, this isn't the game that I enjoy anymore. It's also like, if it was free for everyone, I get it. I can get over myself with it because I'm not paying for it.
Yes.
It's in Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
do you know what?
That's why they're probably pushing it so hard.
But if I paid 70 quid for this, like I did on
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation,
Yes.
I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what is this game
Yeah.
now?
Chocobo GT all over again. I had to
Exactly.
pay full price for that, and then it was all locked behind
All
paywalls.
microtransactions.
It's like what?
Yeah, so I feel like Call of Duty needs to go free to play,
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you there.
but I don't think.
But still charge on PlayStation.
Yeah. I think it shows more for me like how shortchanged you're getting on PlayStation.
Yes.
Because if you're not into all those microtransaction things and it annoys you, but you like Call of Duty, now you're paying 70 quid and having to deal with all that.
That
nonsense.
as well.
That would just great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you got to do it yearly.
Yeah, every year. So
Yeah.
come next October, you're going to have to do that again.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's just going to get worse. It's
Absolutely.
not going to get any better.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that I've got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about, and it links to Game Pass as well,
Okay.
so I can forgive it because I've not paid for it. It's Avowed.
Avowed. Ooh.
Okay, now this is contentious. I know I'm going to get a bit of pushback from it. It's fine. Do push back in the comments because I don't want to write it off,
Okay.
but I'm not enjoying it.
It's such a shame
I
because
know.
I obviously did the tutorial for the best settings on the Ally X. So you know, if you've got an Ally X and you want to play Avowed, go and watch the best settings video I've made, which may or may not be the best settings.
By now, yeah, it might change.
It might have changed if the game's been updated or whatever. But on day one, that's what the settings were for me. I only played that game to get the settings, so I sped run because I want to play this game. I've been looking forward to this game for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm a big like Skyrim fan and Oblivion fan and all that.
Same.
I know you're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But so I've been like looking forward to this. Obviously, this is made by Obsidian or whatever.
Yeah.
So the original Fallout people. and they do the other one,
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds. I always forget it.
Yeah.
The name. But anyway, so I was like, yeah. So I was like, I'm going to do this guide, but I skipped every cutscene. I did a U, skipped everything.
skip.
All the dialogue, I just pressed A.
Yeah.
I just smashed the top one, whatever it was. I was just like, get through. I don't want to know anything about this. And then I'm like, I've got to play like 40 minutes speeding through the intro like zone to get to the first town where it's like actually like open worldy.
Merchants and stuff, yeah.
So I was like, right, I'm just going to run there. Then I got there and then I just did the settings game of just test everything. And I spent like a whole day just going through every single combination until I got what I thought was the best way to play it on the Ally X handheld. And then I told you what I was doing. And for you to immediately go, didn't like it. I was like, what? I was like, really? Because from that 40-minute speed run I did, I actually enjoyed the combat and I thought it looked quite good, even though I'm running it at like 720p upscale.
I want to set my stall out for why I don't like it. And I think my problem is, like you, really love like Oblivion, Skyrim. Like my memories of those games are so important.
Yes.
I do love that kind of medieval styled RPG.
Yeah, the proper fantasy style.
A mixture of like sword combat and magic.
Yes.
I'm there for it.
Yes.
I love that you can pick your own classes. I always do the same thing because I'm basic as hell. Right? I tank everything.
Yeah.
I like being in there with the action.
Yes. Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah. I like the sword play. I like blocking.
Yes.
I like all of that.
Yeah.
And the Elder Scrolls world is, even for its time at least, is so deep and intricate and interesting, and NPCs have consequence, and you can from the off pick your own path. You want to go pickpocketing everyone, go for it. There's a locked door, you can probably pick it. You have this feeling of like, I can do anything I want.
Yes.
And coming from, I guess maybe our generation as well, where games weren't like that for ages and now suddenly are.
Yes.
It's really exciting.
Yes.
So you get this real RPG and you think, maybe I can like bypass saving up loads of gold by stealing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I have those feelings of excitement.
Yeah.
So I think I've unfortunately set my expectation way too high for this game.
You were expecting Elder Scrolls 6.
I was 100% expecting Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
And it is nowhere near that.
No.
And because it's Obsidian, I was like, these guys have got the Fallout heritage, you got Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
This is going to be Elder Scrolls 6, but like cooler.
Yeah.
Because it's those guys and they do things a bit cooler.
Yeah.
It's just not.
No.
Unfortunately. And I can't get that out of my head. I don't like the movement mechanic.
Yeah.
The movement feels robotic and skatey at the same time.
Okay.
I don't like how, like obviously 2-axis I am. I don't like it.
Okay. Yeah.
And sometimes first-person perspective games have that feeling.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, I was worried. I remember when we saw the trailers for it, I was like, I'm worried this is going to feel robotic.
I agree. In that specifically, it looked rubbish, like on the trailers. But playing the game was different.
Was it Machine Games, isn't it?
Yeah.
They did an amazing job of that. It feels very fluid, natural.
Great game, yeah.
Phenomenal. So I think I've had a combination of that great experience of what first-person mechanics can be, and obviously the expectation of this should be like Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
So I don't like the movement mechanic that much. The combat, because it's so intrinsic to the movement mechanic, I dislike. It's too... the movements are too big. That's the only way I can describe it. So like your dodge is like I'm jumping across the whole room.
Yeah.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Dodge. Whoa.
Yeah.
Dodge. Whoa.
I really liked that though. Like I think that's the thing is I actually quite like the combat. Bear in mind, I've spent like 20 minutes like fighting stuff and I sped run as fast as I could just to get to town. So I've not taken my time and enjoyed the experience. Like I've just gone, let's get to that place. But from what I slammed through quickly, I like the fact that when you dodge, you jump right back. Because for magic users, that's going to be really important.
100%.
You know, and for me, I started off sword and shield, or spear and shield, I think you are.
Did you try the bow and arrow at all?
Yes.
The worst weapon in the game.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
No, I enjoy it.
Right. Okay.
But if you're actually in a fight,
Oh, it's rubbish.
it's rubbish.
Oh, yeah, no, it's for ranged only
Yeah.
for me. I didn't like use it like in someone's face.
No,
Like,
no, but I mean, like, oh, that person's like aggroed with
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm still like 100 yards
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
You're like, "Eh?"
yeah. Yeah.
At which time you've been hit 3 times by stones that they're
yeah,
throwing.
there's two ways though, isn't there? There's like a quick fire,
yeah.
or you've got the like charge mode.
Quickfire is like, it's like a really disappointing ending to stuff. It's like, eh.
Yeah, I only used it a couple of times
Yeah.
to get through.
It's
But
either magic or melee.
my
CNC should use.
favorite thing that I ended up doing was spear and the magic book,
That's a good
and
combo.
I loved
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
and the first little mini boss guy right at the beginning that you've got to get through. I loved that, like icing him,
Yeah.
stabbing him with a stick, and then like flaming him or whatever. Like, I loved it. Like, I really enjoyed it personally. So I've got like slightly different take on that, but I'm waiting until I finish Final Fantasy and then I'm going to play it.
Oh, that's going to be
properly.
a rough. That's
Yeah,
a rough
it's totally
comparison
different.
for you.
But I think for me, because you haven't played the Outer Worlds, have you?
No.
I have. So I kind of I was expecting that to be the Fallout, to be Starfield,
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah, Fallout in space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it came before Starfield, didn't
Yeah.
it? And so I was like, oh yeah, like this is the original Fallout guys, Fallout 3 makers, New Vegas
New
or whatever.
Vegas, yeah.
And I was like,
Which
yes.
a lot of people class as the definitive.
Yeah,
Fallout.
it's great.
Yeah.
You know, so I was expecting great things for the Outer Worlds, and honestly, it was rubbish when it came out. I thought it was okay.
It's okay.
It's
Rubbish
okay.
is a big word for it.
It's
isn't
not.
it?
It's not rubbish. It's not rubbish. But it did not live up to my expectations at all.
Yeah.
Like it really didn't. Like I enjoyed it.
So
but that was it.
You've got a reasonable expectation for
Yes.
this now. It's
So
like,
already
it's not
was on
there,
the.
it's-
I was already on the like sort of
Yeah.
not back foot, but when I saw Avowed, I was like, wicked. This is totally different.
Yeah.
Entirely different combat mechanics. Totally different setting.
Yeah.
Like we're in a fantasy world now. I thought they're taking a sidestep away from the Fallout vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like this to me doesn't look like Starfield or Fallout or the Outer Worlds.
No.
They've almost done like a 180 and gone, let's go a different way and make a different type of game. So my expectations were kind of, I don't want to say low because I feel like that's doing them a disservice, but I already was not expecting Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think that's
It's funny.
the
there's-
difference there.
There's little bits. It's like the seasoning of the same DNA is there, though.
Yeah,
Which is kind of
yeah.
Specifically the dialogue.
Yes. Yeah. It's very, very similar.
It's very similar. Like,
yeah,
this feels kind of the same.
yeah.
But they've obviously they don't do the Bethesda first like straight on camera view for dialogue.
Yes. Where you can just have their eyes peeping out on the screen. I love
They've
doing
done
that.
for every game ever, which is hilarious. But it's like slightly like 1/3 the camera
Yeah.
movement.
But yeah, the combat's totally different.
Totally
Than
different.
what they've done before. And I like it so far.
I'm willing to give it more. I'm about 4 hours in.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple of evenings of playing it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it more time. And this is the interesting thing, because it's Game Pass.
Yes.
So I jump into it because I'm excited and I like RPGs. I'm a little bit disappointed because it wasn't what I expected it to be. So that's on me.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to give it more time because I've not had to pay for this. And if 8-10 hours in, I still don't like it,
You can stop.
I can stop and I've not lost a thing.
Now imagine that you bought this on PlayStation
I'd
for
be-
70 quid.
Well, here's the thing. If I bought it for 70 quid, I'd be really disappointed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Because my expectation was too high for what it is.
Yes.
And if I pay £70, then my expectation is even higher again.
Absolutely. You want to get your money's worth.
You want to get your money's worth. That's a lot of money for people, for everyone. That's a lot of money for a game. It's a big investment. You've got to be really sure about what you're doing here. And Game Pass just changes all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just changes all that entirely. So yeah, I'd love to know what everyone else's experience of Avowed's been. So I get the impression anyway from the internet that it's pretty mixed. That not everyone's universally in love with it.
Yeah. I don't know because I've not really been looking at social media about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what people's general reaction is. Has it been received well? I don't even know what the Metacritic is. I haven't looked at reviews.
I saw, well, here's the ridiculous thing, reviews. I think it was IGN scored at 7. But to give this reference point,
But they score everything as
they,
7.
they scored Concord 7.
Everything's a 7 for them.
Everything is 7.
They just go safe.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Rebirth
7.
was 7 as
Yeah,
well.
probably. Yeah.
Probably Astrobot was 8.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Ooh.
Wicked. Yeah.
Everything set is ridiculous.
They just safe bar it, don't they?
Yeah, 7.
They've got no measurable means of actually giving they're just arbitrary numbers that they throw
I just
out.
love that they gave it the same score they gave Concord.
Oh, yeah.
Concord universally the biggest failure in gaming of the past decade.
Probably ever.
Maybe ever. Universally slated by players. And then Avowed, which is it's a solid game. And I'm sure that the people that are enjoying it will have an amazing time. Maybe that does justify a 7. That's kind of it's a good average.
I would give Star Wars Outlaws a 7.
Yeah, okay. I can
good.
understand that. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's not great. It's not amazing.
Yeah.
It's good. For Star Wars fans, it's probably an 8.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm in like a 7.5 territory.
Yeah.
And especially now they've added all the new DLSS stuff and ray tracing stuff, I'll probably enjoy it even more because it will perform better. But that is a good game.
Yeah.
It's not trash like everyone says it was. They've changed everything now, but it's a good 7.5 out of 10. That's good.
And go back to the thing about buying the games. Here's a problem. I think a lot of people are upset with that because it was expensive at launch.
Yeah.
If it was on a subscription service like Game Pass, I think it would get a lot more kind of favourable reviews.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're my bees and my bonnets this week. What I really wanted to talk about, the meaty thing.
Oh, you were in the sex shop.
I every weekend I go to my local sex shop.
Yes.
To get my kicks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're in America, the only what is this? It's like a porn. It's a porn shop.
It's a porn.
The sex shop, the porn store.
It's
PAWN.
Yeah, it's the
porn
only.
shop.
It's like a chain of electronic retailer, basically.
But it's secondhand only.
Secondhand games is their
Yeah.
primary thing.
Yes.
We don't have any high street game retail anymore.
Well, we do. There's one across the road from here.
Yeah, I don't even
But all they
count
sell
it.
is teddy
They
bears
sell teddy bears and Fortnite figurines.
and t-shirts.
Yeah. Game's dead because they got rid of all the pre-owned section. It killed it.
Game is dead, yeah.
Game is dead. The only game shop left as a chain in the UK is CEX.
Which is hilarious. Just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
There are no game stores in the UK.
I don't understand why there's none.
None. There's a couple of independent shops,
Yep.
which I'm really surprised that are still open, but
Yeah.
well done to them. But there's no chain store anymore, ever. Like in the whole country, there's none. So all we've got is second-hand market.
So where we live,
Place.
which is rural part of England, there's even less.
Yes.
So CEX is your only option, but it's really well. The one I've got local to me is really well stocked. It's a really big one.
Yeah.
Weirdly, because it's a small town.
But just to put to bed what I said, they actually pronounce it sex.
Yeah. It's
Which
the
is-
sex shop. Yeah.
Which is so stupid. But yeah, it's a CEX. There you go, carry on.
So I was in my local sex shop this
Oh,
weekend,
yeah.
and they've had for the past few months. They've
Looking
had
for a good time.
looking for a good time, not a long time, a good time. They've had a couple of Steam Decks in there for a few
Wow.
weeks now.
Yeah.
And I keep eyeing them they're kind of calling out to me. I'm a bit
Yes.
excited by them. So I wanted to satisfy my own curiosity. So this is AJ's shopping guide.
Sex
But
shopping guy.
I know I'm not alone in this. I'm should you buy a Steam Deck in 2025?
What a question.
Yeah, because there's the desire and the logic, and they're in conflict with each other. The desire is they're cool,
They're wicked.
they're wicked,
Wicked bits of
and they
kit.
represent quite good value.
Really good
You can
value.
pick them up quite cheap.
Best
I think
value in the PC handheld space.
by a million miles.
Yeah.
My logic is it's old.
Yeah.
It can barely run games anymore. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And I know there's huge Steam Deck fans. And I know we kind of really jumped into PC handhelds with the Steam Deck, with your journey with the OLED.
Oh, yeah. And the LCD, yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to put it to you, really. Should I buy this? And what would be the reasons to buy it and reasons not to? And what would the alternative be?
First reason to not buy it from the sex shop is why is the sex shop selling a Steam Deck at £350, which is what it is brand new off of Steam's website.
The price is the first bit, really.
Yes.
Second hand, they are hellishly expensive, and I don't understand why.
No. I don't know why.
They don't represent value in the second-hand market. And also, I know like the CEX stores in the UK, they offer a 5-year warranty, I believe.
Which is, it used to be 2 years.
Yeah.
They've now, which is insane, for a second-hand electronic shop to offer 5-year warranty at no added cost. Everything you buy there is 5 years warranty.
Yeah.
It's not like an after-sales thing. It's included in the price. No matter what you buy, 5 years warranty. So that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Because if you buy one off eBay, it could be bricked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there could be something wrong with it, and in 12 months, 18 months, it's dead. Whereas if you do that at CEX, okay, you might have paid a little bit more for it.
The mad thing with that is that warranty is better than if you bought it new.
Yeah, exactly. So providing it looks in good nick, you're probably better off buying it secondhand. The only thing is, I still think it should be under the price of new.
Yeah, because it is secondhand.
It is secondhand.
You're not getting that. You're not going to sniff the fans and have the same experience.
Yeah. No, you're going to have someone else's fart blowing into
dog
your face.
hair back at you. Oh.
But so pricing's it's tough, isn't it? Because you've got the two Steam Decks and they're very far apart from each other.
Really far apart.
Really, because you're looking here in the UK, it's $350 for the 256 gig LCD, which is the only one that you can get.
That's right. Yeah.
The next step up is the OLED 512 gigabytes. That's 280. 200. 400. Yeah, I'd buy another one. 480. So it's 130 quid.
480 in my head is 500.
Yeah, it's 500 quid.
They've just not put it there because that looks scary.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So 500, 480
versus 350.
That's such a huge jump.
Yes.
Now the OLED's been out for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
2
been
years, 18 months.
18 months, I think. Yeah.
It's been a while. I'm surprised it's held that higher price for that long.
It's really good though. It is really good.
Yeah.
It's very good. And that's the thing is there is a big sort of chasm between the LCD version of the deck and the OLED deck.
Yeah.
Even though they're basically identical, they're not. Like the OLED deck is a lot better. There's minor things that they've done to improve everything. I mean, it's even got a different system on a chip and everything, so it is more efficient. Battery is better. You do get a performance increase with it, minorly. You're only looking at 1 or 2% performance increase, but those few frames you are needing.
Well, so there's an interesting point then. Was just focusing on that. Do you think the 350 option, which is the same price as it is secondhand, annoyingly, so 350 is your entry point.
Mm-hmm.
Does that represent value? Because it's very cheap.
It's very cheap.
It's like almost Nintendo cheap.
It's almost Switch OLED new cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the 350 is the best value. Absolutely. It's just that LCD screen, man.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. It's really bad. Like it's the worst LCD screen on a handheld I've seen in a while. But it really depends what your use case is. This is such a hard topic to discuss because there's so many different situations people might be in,
So, okay.
As to what you want to play.
Yeah.
How much money you've got. How long you want it to last for.
I want to get into those other bits a little bit later. I just want to focus in there's two options.
Yes.
You got 350 or 480.
The 480 I don't think is worth it when you look at what else is on the market.
But that's the only one that's got...
That's the best one to have.
And this is the bit I'm struggling with.
Yes.
I'm looking at it and going, I know it's almost obsolete in its hardware now.
For modern titles, it is obsolete. You can't play anything.
But it does have a place. And for older games and for emulation and stuff, it's amazing. And it's really simple. It's Steam OS and
absolutely
all of the benefits. It's got all of that.
Yep.
But I know the LCD version sucks. The screen sucks. Only, I say sucks, if you've got one, you're having a great time. Don't look at the OLED. Just don't physically look at one.
Yeah, don't get one in your hands. You'll be right. Yeah.
But as soon as you see the OLED, it's like, I can't.
Oh my days.
I can't look at anything
else
now.
It is totally different. Yeah. It's a different machine.
And I still remember that visceral reaction I had to seeing your OLED one.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that's different.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes.
But
incredible. That is.
At 480 is the entry point into that. I'm like, that's a lot.
It's 500 quid.
I've seen the Z1 Extreme Ally cheaper. I know not currently it is, but it does go down to 400 quite regularly.
Price is all over the place. I bought Christina's Z1 Extreme Ally for 400.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah.
400 on the nose. And that was, if you look at that, if you can get a Z1 Extreme Ally versus the Steam Deck OLED, which is the age-old argument at the time of both launching, the Ally's the better option.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to put SteamOS on it.
Yes.
If not, you've got Bazzite right now, which is just SteamOS pretty much, but I would wait for official SteamOS. And you've got the performance gain. Like, it's much more powerful.
Huge performance gain.
Majorly more powerful. Like, you can play modern titles on it. You'd be able to play Avowed on it.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck, even if you flashed it with Windows, it will not play that. It can't.
Yeah, so they're in a really weird pricing position now, where I think they need to kind of reassess what they're doing.
I agree. I think the OLED should come down in price now, 18 months later, especially with what else is coming to the market.
If they dropped down to the nearest 100,
yes,
I would jump at the OLED instantly. If the OLED was 400
for an OLED, absolutely
jump at it
all day long. I think that's great.
Yeah, and if the LCD, whatever ones they've got left, was 3,
yes,
they'd fly out.
Yeah. Just get rid of them.
Apparently they've sold 3 million Steam Decks so far, which I was surprised at. It's quite high.
I would have said 3 million 6 months ago.
Yeah, it might have been. They don't release the official numbers.
Okay, yeah.
It's like best guess for this
I
year.
think the Steam Deck's done really well.
Yeah,
and rightfully so.
But I think they would fly out if they dropped it down a little bit now, because the competition's too compelling.
Yes,
and their price point, they're just awkwardly priced now.
Yes, yeah.
I guess to answer the question for other people, the other one is like, what alternatives are there? What are you using it for? What are you hoping to get out of it?
I think that's the major thing here, like for the whole discussion. And of course, we can look at what else there is on the options, but it all comes straight down to what type of games are you going to play on it?
Yeah.
Because if you're like an RTS only person, this is the option.
Yeah.
Like, because you've got the dual trackpads. They're the best on the market.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's got the best sort of wide range of control options out of anything.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable. It's ergonomic, big screen and stuff. But those trackpads will be a deal breaker for some people.
Yeah.
But let's say you're not just RTS or whatever. It just comes down to, do you want to play AAA games or not? That's all it is. If you want to play games from 5 years ago and before, so games from the 90s all the way up to whenever 5 years ago was, 2020. I don't like the sound of that.
COVID was 5 years ago.
I know. Yeah, don't say that. We'll get slandered by YouTube.
I said the word.
I can't believe they used to mess people's videos up.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
But anyway, 5 years ago was the dreaded C.
Yeah. Games from 5 years ago or later.
Yeah, then the Steam Deck is actually a valuable option, like whether that's the LCD or not. Because if people are on budgets, maybe they've just bought a nice big rig, and they've got a PC and they want a handheld to continue playing their games on. Maybe they don't have a PC at all and they just, maybe they sold their PC, they got a family or something. I don't know. The Steam Deck at that lower price point is a good price.
Could it be your one and done? Let's pretend you're on a tight budget and you just want something to get into gaming.
Yes.
Is the Steam Deck, the cheap Steam Deck, the best option?
It's so difficult because you're 50 quid away from a Z1 Ally.
Yeah.
And that's
pretty amazing.
Which is way better. And
it's Windows.
It's Windows.
And all the benefits that
you
come
play
with that.
AAA, you can play Call of Duty on it. You can play your multiplayer games.
And also,
it's tough.
If it's just your only gaming device, then obviously you're putting into the conversation other consoles as well.
Yes.
And you've got like the Series S.
Yeah, but they're probably looking at a handheld for a reason.
Okay, yeah.
So let's just stick handhelds here.
And then in which case, you got the Switch OLED, which I think you'd be a fool to buy now.
I think there's a reason you're not buying one. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're not even looking at that at the minute because Switch 2 is right around the corner.
Yes.
And also, if you're already looking at a PC style thing, you probably already have a library or you want to reap the rewards of cheap games from, Algeria.
Yeah. From your uncle in Argentina.
Yeah. So I think in that respect, you've got to ask yourself two questions. If you're on a tight budget, let's say you got 400.
Yeah.
So you can't go to the OLED territory.
Yes.
You've got 400 on the nose. Maybe you're hoping to get a couple of games with that, right? So you've got 400. Ask yourself, do you play online multiplayer games? If yes, buy the Z1 Extreme Ally. If no, and you just want to play your back catalogue or old games or single player games, whatever, go for the OLED. The OLED. Don't go for the OLED. We just said that's out your price range. Go for the LCD deck.
Get a loan.
Get a loan.
Use a credit
Buy
card.
a 5090. Buy a new rig. Get a house.
Get an
mortgage
Acer
it.
Nitro Blaze
Yeah,
11.
that's it.
£1,100.
Get a job. Become the CEO. Get a boat. Sell the boat. Buy a PC.
Move to Monaco.
Have 3 kids. Sell them on the black market. And then buy the latest graphics card. Sorry, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
So,
If you've got 400 quid,
yeah,
it's and you're not worried about the game. So then I'm thinking about my own personal experience, and I'm going, okay, I've got consoles
yes,
to play the latest games on. I've got a PC I could play the latest games on as well. I'm not trying to boast. That sounds like I'm boasting.
I've got.
Let me list all the things I got. I got a Ferrari. So then, like, my own personal use is like, maybe I just want something just to take with me. And if I'm playing like the multiplayer games, or I want to play the latest like AAA games, then I'll do it on the Series X. Or whatever.
Okay, so you're happy to play those titles at the weekend on your TV.
On a TV. But if
Yeah.
I want something just to pick up and play, maybe some older games, then I like, actually, it does represent something that's quite cool.
Absolutely.
But then I go back to my problem on chapter 1 of this, which is 350. It makes sense, but it's the LCD version, and that kind of sucks.
It does. It
So
does.
the pricing's wrong.
Yes. If the OLED wasn't out and it was only LCD deck,
I'm fine with
it'd be a
that.
much easier push.
Yes.
Because you never experienced better.
Yeah.
But the OLED really is like the Steam Deck 2.
Yeah.
Like, when you have them side by side, and that was, I've said this thousands of times in the past in our videos, but the day I got the LCD deck, when it blew my mind and I fell in love, but the second I switched it on, it made me want to heave. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh my God, that screen is horrible. And I said to my wife, I said, if they release an OLED of these, I'm going to day one buy it.
Yeah.
And I did, because they did release it. But seriously, that screen hits you in the face. Everything else is amazing. But that screen is like, oh.
For a casual gives it kind of cheapens it too much, but I'm just going to use it. For something that I'm going to use for more casual gaming, which is kind of where the Steam Deck's at now.
I would say it is for casual play.
350 I can stomach as a device.
I think that's an affordable option.
Kind of 500, 480.
Yeah,
it's too much, isn't it?
Too much.
That's a huge leap.
It's a big leap. Well, yeah.
But I know that I couldn't settle for the LCD.
Yes.
I couldn't do it, knowing that the OLED is that much better. And having seen and experienced the OLED, I couldn't do it.
I couldn't go back to the LCD deck.
So I really struggle. I struggle with it myself, which is why I wanted to. I know there'll be other people that are on the fence. I'm like, oh, should I buy a Steam Deck this year? And I can't recommend it. Is the problem? But I want to recommend it.
It's tough, isn't it? I mean, to me, it always falls down to those two things. Like, I could recommend it all day long, but I'm picturing the OLED in my mind, because I know that experience is phenomenal if you're not playing multiplayer games. If you're just playing your single player games and older titles, then it's an easy push to just be like, get the OLED, amazing.
Yeah.
But at that price point, you could be playing AAA games. Do you know what I mean? Like latest releases, future-proofing.
And so, so then I'm going to take that price point argument out of it, or my own situation out of it, and go, you're trying to get into handheld gaming this year. And let's say that you're obviously fighting in that £500 price point. So you're accepting the OLED is your choice, which is a great choice.
Yes.
Does it make sense to buy a Steam Deck OLED in 25 at that price point? Bearing in mind all the other releases that we've heard of that are coming, which means the current generation are going to come down in price. Handheld gaming has moved on like an entire generation since the Steam Deck was launched.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's leaps and bounds ahead.
We've really accelerated.
Unless you're Lenovo and you put in the Go 2 S or whatever it is, the Go S.
Go S.
It's so hard, isn't it? The
Z2
S. No, the Z2 Go. The Go 2. No, the Go S.
Yes, with the Z2 Go.
Yes, that's it.
Which is worse than the Z1 Extreme.
What are you doing?
Anyway, yeah. So if I'm coming into the market now, I definitely want a PC handheld of some kind.
Yes.
I've got a £500 budget.
Yep.
Which is a good budget.
You're
you know.
still really only looking at the Z1 Extreme and a Steam Deck OLED now.
Yeah.
Because
That seems fair.
even Lenovo's
The Legion.
the Go S,
Yeah.
which comes with either Steam OS
600, isn't it?
or Windows, 600 for effectively worse performance that you're going to get on a Z1 Extreme for
Well,
Ally
there's
for
an
400.
interesting comparison then. Take the Z1 Extreme Ally out of that, because I know that's where you would go to straight away.
Yeah, that's just the clear
You've got
one.
the Steam Deck OLED or the Lenovo Legion Go 2.
S, you mean?
Go S, sorry, yeah.
It's so confusing.
With Steam OS,
Yeah,
which is coming in May,
yeah.
and that's going to be 600. You'd get the Steam Deck, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because the Lenovo, which will actually massively outperform the Steam Deck, if they were the same price, I'd go with Lenovo. I really would.
Yeah.
Even without the OLED screen,
Yeah.
because the Lenovo is the more future-proof option. It's got better and faster RAM,
Yes, yes.
and the processor is stronger
yeah.
than. So even though we're laughing at it because it's worse performance than the Z1 Extreme,
But marginally.
marginally,
Yeah.
it still outperforms the base Steam Deck.
Yeah.
The only reason not to get the Lenovo Legion Go S, if it was the same price as the OLED, is trackpads. It's the only way it comes down, because you've just got a little nubbin on the corner.
Yeah, they're weird,
Yeah.
tiny little thing.
But at the prices where they stand, $480 for a Steam Deck OLED
yeah.
or $600 for the Go 2, the Go S,
Go S.
that can Go S itself out the door.
Because that's another huge leap. That's an equivocal leap as the LCD to the OLED
Well,
Steam Deck.
if you're jumping up to the Go 2 S, you might as well jump up to the Ally X at that point. Just
So what you're
chuck
saying
another
is-
200 quid on it.
Yeah.
Get that
What you're
mortgage.
saying is, that they've stretched to a 480 budget, and you're
Yeah.
saying, why not spend 800?
Yeah, just go to 800. It's easy. Just double it. It's nice. It's clean.
Get the job,
Yeah, get the job. That's it. Work your way up.
become the CEO.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, but seriously, the Steam Deck OLED is the choice there,
Yeah.
because it's not worth paying another 120.
But, okay, so then the final point of that is that a stupid decision to make? Because it's not future-proof at all.
Yeah, I would recommend against it.
Because I'm always an advocate for buy the best hardware you,
What you can.
right now, and don't
Yes.
worry about what's about to happen.
Absolutely.
Because
yeah.
there's always something new coming.
Yes.
But there's certain exceptions to that.
Yes.
And I think like one of the exceptions is like Nintendo Switch right now.
Yeah.
That would be a stupid thing to spend your money on.
Yeah, why would you buy a Switch
Just
1?
wait, because Switch 2 is going to be here in a couple of months.
Exactly, yes.
You know that's going to get surpassed.
Yes.
But Steam Deck, I think, sits in that camp now as well.
I think the Switch 2 will be the better buy than the Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Shots fired.
I'm sorry.
This whole podcast has been shots fired.
I think so. And I'm not, discounting the Steam Deck. If anyone's already got one, amazing. I love the Steam Deck.
You've already had months of joy out of it, though, if you've already got one.
Exactly. Yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about people jumping in now.
That's the thing. Yeah. I'm not trying to discredit Steam Deck and what it's done, but
Yeah.
I'm saying right now, I think the better buy would be wait for the Switch 2. It's going to be, we reckon, $399. Yeah. 400. And that's then in between the price. Well, it's the price of an LCD deck.
Yeah.
Pretty much in between the price of an LCD deck and a.
Do you think
an OLED.
performance is going to be comparable?
Yeah, I really do.
When you consider it, I think, and
I think it's going to outperform it.
because of the NVIDIA DLSS
Yeah.
stuff. That
Well, and just the fact that it's a brand new SoC, it's a new chip.
Yeah.
And the Steam Deck's chip's like 4 years old?
Yeah.
So the Switch 2 is going to be the better performer, and it's going to have
it's going to have all the third-party
It's going to
games.
have Xbox games on there. There's
only
going to be certain PlayStation stuff that will be
Yeah.
on there, like third-party stuff. We're going to get the Square releasing like Final Fantasies on there. It's going to have DLSS.
You've got Switch Online.
It's going to have Switch Online. You get all the walled garden Nintendo stuff, which
Yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah.
Like all the Nintendo games are
Well,
incredible.
I consider how many people buy the Steam Deck to emulate Nintendo
Exactly,
games on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
you just get Switch Online.
Yeah.
And some of them are there.
Yeah, the only thing there comes down to the price is higher for games on the Switch. That's the only reason.
Yes, you don't have access to the Steam library.
Yeah, exactly.
and all the joys that come with that.
Or your uncle.
Or your uncle in Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's obviously there's negatives to the Nintendo thing, but if you're just looking at just the hardware and the new releases that you're going to be able to play on it, the Switch 2 would be a compelling option at £400 price point.
And it's an 8-inch screen.
Yeah.
And you will be able to desktop play it like a Lenovo Legion Go. Do you know what I mean? Take the Joy-Cons off.
Yeah.
Buy some third-party Pro Joy-Cons. I mean, you know, if you guys don't know, I like review Joy-Cons on here as well. Like we've done a lot of Nintendo coverage for hardware. So there's loads of Pro Joy-Cons out there. So you're not just confined to the horrible
mouse mode for RTS games.
Mouse mode. Yeah, I reckon you'll see like Civilization or something popping up on there.
Well, it's already been announced. Civ 7
is
on
it?
Switch. Yeah.
All right. Wow. Okay. There you go. So I think the Switch 2 would be the better buy.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I do.
I never thought I'd hear you say that the Nintendo Switch would be a better option than the Steam Deck.
It's still very subjective to your own personal situation, but in terms of performance-wise, and you could play Call of Duty on it.
You'll be able to play Call of Duty on it, which you can't do on the Steam Deck.
Phil Spencer and Microsoft and everyone, when they acquired Activision, said that going forward, there's complete parity on all systems on Nintendo. So that means you're going to get literally the latest Call of Duty on the Switch. You can't do that on the Steam Deck. You cannot.
No.
Unless you put Windows on it and then it's going to run like a pig.
Yeah.
Because the only thing saving the Steam Deck is SteamOS.
That's the best
Like
bit
the reason to get one.
Yeah.
And you can't play anti-cheat on there.
Yeah.
So you can't do it unless you're streaming it. And we know you can't stream first-person shooters.
No.
Not multiplayers.
No, I did try.
I did as well. I tried
It's
it on that
awful.
tablet. It's horrendous.
Yeah.
I pressed the button. I went and made a cup of tea, which I don't even drink, poured it away, came back, and I still hadn't shot the...
Why are you making tea?
I don't know. It's just a saying that we use, even though I don't drink tea.
Oh, I still want to buy one.
I know, yeah. The Steam Deck's cool.
And that's the problem.
The danger for me is when the Steam Deck 2 comes out, because I'll want one. Just because even though the Ally X will probably still be outperforming it.
Yeah, that is going to be a real issue. I wonder when they're going to do it.
Steam Deck 2. Well, they've already said
there's got to be a huge
got to be
leap.
a generational leap. So I still think when the Z3 Extreme comes out in a year's time,
The new RDNA
4,
generation,
that is a generation. That will be like 5-generation leap from the Steam Deck.
Well, when I was thinking about that, and it's Gabe that said it, wasn't it? I was like, well, we're kind of there now, to be honest, guys.
Yeah.
But it will be a significant step up with RDNA 4 and the Z3 chips. So next year is going to be
a big
year.
Big year, yeah.
And I think that feels like a good enough amount of time. 2026 for the Steam Deck 2.
I think so.
Which would have made it 4 years.
Yeah.
22 was the
5
Steam Deck,
years?
was it? 5 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Is it 2021 Steam Deck came out?
I think if not came out, was it announced?
I just want to say as well, like, it's been an incredible success that way back when it first got announced, we were really dubious about it.
Absolutely. We were skeptical.
Like, that's like, they've got, because they had such a checkered history with hardware. The Steam Machine was a massive failure.
All of it. They put stuff out. If it doesn't work, they just can it straight away. And that was my number one issue is this is a PC, essentially.
Yeah.
It's running Linux.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows about gaming on Linux. They pretty much drove the forefront of it. So I was like, whoa.
Be careful of
If it
this.
launched Windows, I would have probably been more accepting of it. And even though it would have probably had more problems, But the fact that they were like, we've designed this whole like operating system and, we're basing it on Linux and stuff. I was like, nah.
Do you know, there's part of me that wonders whether they'll even do a Steam Deck 2.
Nah, they will.
Now, hear me out.
They will.
They're always doing weird things.
Okay.
Valve are a weird
But
company.
you think they're going to go straight to 3? Steam Deck 3.
No, there's part of me that wonders whether this was just a mechanism to get SteamOS more refined.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, totally.
To get SteamOS out into other...
Yes.
So the Steam Machine idea actually gets reborn.
Yes.
Just it's not overtly done.
Mm-hmm.
And that because their money isn't made from selling Steam Decks.
No.
3 million units isn't changing their business structure
No.
significantly.
No.
They make money from selling games.
Yes.
And the more Steam OSs that are out there, the more games, the more people and it's kind of propagated further. I wonder, there's part of me that wonders whether the whole thing was just to get Steam OS out there.
And
maybe
finished. Yeah.
now it's done. We don't actually need to worry about the Steam Deck anymore.
Nah, I think you're right, but they're going to keep the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So
I hope they keep the Steam
I
Deck.
think Steam OS is going to be popping up on everything.
Yeah.
You're going to see the Asus, well, maybe not Asus, but you'll see the
not
Lenovo
Asus,
Steam Box, whatever, Steam machine, and that's going to have Steam OS and whatever else, all these other handhelds will ship with it, whatever, because Valve will make money from it, because they'll have to, because each device will have to be configured for Steam OS to work properly with that hardware capability or whatever. Like Lenovo and previously with the Asus, because there was talks about it coming out on the Ally, they would have had to have spoken and had a relationship with that company to make it work. But anyway, so I think that's going to happen. We're going to start seeing random third-party stuff coming with SteamOS, but there will always be the home console, do you know what I mean? Which will be the Steam Deck. So SteamOS will be Valve's console.
Yeah.
And then anything else you want, you've got to go third party. And,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they can't rely on third party ones, in my opinion, because you don't know how good they're going to be. And you know, if someone's buying your product, it's made for
Made
that.
for it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
And I think the biggest appeal of the Steam Deck was that it allowed people to get into something that should be very complicated, handheld PC gaming, and made it super simple.
Yes.
It just worked, turn it on, it worked, which is what a lot of people that got into it were used to with consoles.
Yes.
And the Switch as
It
well.
is, and I still stand by the forefront of it is the console PC gaming.
100% agree
and
with
it's a great bit of kit. It's just
the price
really,
point's wrong.
The price point's wrong, and it's just not performing right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's why it always comes down to: do you want to play games from 5 years ago and behind?
But
then it's fine.
If they genuinely are going to wait for RDNA 4 and the Z3 generation of chips, it's already struggling.
Oh yeah, it would be.
That's a whole year before
It'll
we
be puffing out steam by the.
It will be a literal
next year.
steam machine.
Yeah.
It'll be obsolete by then.
It will be,
which is the problem it does have.
Yeah. So the price is already too high.
And it doesn't have the advantage of the Nintendo Switch, which was that games were designed and developed squarely for the
that.
Switch, which meant that they could optimize it as best they could for that really aging hardware. And they did Nintendo's developers did a really great job of that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they continue to.
Yeah.
Xenoblade
Chronicles X. How is that even running on the Switch?
It looks really good.
It looks incredible. Switch can't even run Pokemon.
It baffles me how that's possible. Steam Deck doesn't have that advantage because the games aren't developed by Valve.
No, they're not even developed for Linux.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
made for Windows and they're using Protons.
I just want to say, imagine that next year.
Yeah.
Oof, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, it's already. It won't take AAA games now.
And so then I go back to the original question at the start of this episode of like, should you buy it? And then that's the final really tricky point is that it's already showing its age.
Yes.
And what, are you hoping to have it for more than a year? I would imagine if you're spending £400, you want it to keep it for longer than a year.
Yes. Which again, if you're just using emulation or old titles, it could last you for many years.
Yeah.
You know, providing you're playing games prior to 2020, then it will last you as long as the device lasts you. You know, it will last you 20 years or more.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to play the most modern thing, which a lot of PC gamers unfortunately are striving for playing the latest titles, then you need to look at Windows handhelds.
Yeah.
Really, and spend more money. You need to get that job and become a CEO. Or the actual reasonable option here is go Nintendo Land, Switch 2. It's true.
When we start this, that is not the outcome I was expecting.
I had no preconception of this. AJ came to me and was like, I want to talk about Steam Deck today.
Yeah.
Well, let's put the cameras on and go. I haven't thought about this at all.
My prediction would have been you would have suggested they get the Z1 Extreme Ally, which is your answer to everything.
Well, because it's the cheapest thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is really the best, most affordable.
Yeah.
If you can get it at that 400 price point,
Oh, it's
it's a
amazing.
no-brainer.
just
Do not
that.
be spending £600 on it.
No,
Don't buy that because the price jumps up and down like it's random, but it goes down to 400.
I've seen used ones in the 3s.
Really?
Yeah.
Go used.
Yeah.
If you can get used Ally Z1 Extreme, absolutely all day long.
Yeah.
Because you'll be able to put SteamOS on it if you want SteamOS, and it will be a Steam Deck 2 to
Although
you.
I saw a used one in the sex shop
Oh yeah,
that was $650. I was like,
$650.
I think you've mistyped there.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Like, who's buying that?
I don't
It's gone. Someone bought it.
know. No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? You can buy the brand new for
I
less.
know. But I think there's an assumption in those kind of shops where people go in and they assume this is going to be the best price I can get this thing for.
No. They always rip you off.
They do, yeah. Sometimes they really underprice stuff though as well.
Sometimes. And then they realise and they jack the price
Jack it
up.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Anyway, have you got the job? Are you becoming the CEO? Is it time?
Let us know what you bought.
Let us know what you bought with your first $1 million paycheck.
Yes.
Just get a loan.
Awesome.
No, I want to know if you guys think you should buy a Steam Deck in 2025.
Yeah.
Both Steam Deck owners, but also those that are kind of looking inward and kind of sat on the fence. Should you buy one? Should I buy a Steam Deck, basically, is the question I want to answer. And if so, which one should I buy if it was your money?
Ooh.
And talking of which, if
What,
you
so
wanted
they're
to
buying you
yeah,
one?
if you want to buy it for
Yeah,
me,
okay.
we've got channel memberships open.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Join the memberships and you can chat to us on our Discord
Mm-hmm.
and all of that other stuff. Anything else they should do, Andy?
Have a nice day.
You've forgotten the catchphrase already, which
Yeah,
has
I
made
can't
me
remember.
sad. They should like before they leave.
Oh, yeah. Like before you leave, have a nice day. Apparently, there's another one. I don't know.
And almost like you've never done a video
Yeah,
before. And
Yeah.
have a nice day, everybody.
I spaced out because we didn't do the sponsor segment at the beginning of the video.
Oh, shoot.
So I was like, how can we work this in now? I was like, we're not going to. I'm just going to have to jam it in the middle of
This
something.
whole time you've been like, how do we segue into the sponsors? And I forgot all about
I was
it.
going to earlier, but then we went on a rant about something and I just got swept
So
into it.
sorry about the abrupt advert. And thanks to our
Yes.
sponsors,
Yes,
those guys.
those guys, whoever that might be. Thank you.
Until the next time.
Bye.
We're good at this.
Yeah, it's good.
Professional.
I like it.